Welcome back to the Rise of India. The Amira Group is today a global food company that sees the world as its market. But Karan A Chanana also recognizes the huge opportunity the rapidly growing Indian retail sector presents, one that Amira is keen to make the best of.
We have offices across the world. Okay, our corporate headquarters is in Dubai. Okay, that's where I am based. We have our production home base in India. Okay, so we have an office in New Delhi. We have our factory in Gurgaon. We have the new factory coming up in Karnal. Okay, corporate headquarters in Dubai. We have a processing plant and office in Germany. We have an office in the UK, in London. We have 2 offices in the US, in New York and in California. All the international offices are manned by sales and marketing professionals. The New York office also holds our global CFO, since we are listed on the New York Stock Exchange. In Africa, we have our sales teams. We have 7 people traveling to Africa on a regular basis, which do the Amira brand and third-party sales there. And as the business grows, we are aiming to grow our presence in places. And we do our international business and our India business in a unique manner. We're probably the only company from our industry which has made management teams across the world. Okay, that has led to our growth. In India, we follow a clear strategy of deepening our distribution. See, the Indian retail space is growing rapidly, and we are benefiting from that. The Western style modern retail has already changed the landscape in India, and I believe they should be allowed to come into India in a more liberalized manner, because what that actually leads to is creation of a supply chain. When brands like us and others have a consistent and easier route to market, you invest more in the back end. We are an exception where we've gone and invested in the front end even more by having our own distribution centers. So outpacing the growth of the industry. Now, retail itself has become an experience. 10 years ago, people were buying entry-level basmati rice, which had brokens and everything in it, out of a 25-kilo sack. Today, that's come to a 5-kilo. Today, we have the Amira extra long-grain rice. We have our biryani rice. We have our khichdi rice. We have our kheer rice. So application-based rice has also gone up. And people are moving more and more into packaged goods. So I would say the basmati rice industry has evolved over the last 10 years from a large bulk package to a complete package product. And that has been accentuated by the incoming of the Western style modern retail.
Along with opportunities in the Indian retail segment, the chairman of the Amira Group is looking to the Modi government to make policies that will enable the Indian rice industry to further the PM's call to make in India.
See, the new Modi government has made all the right talks about creating a GST for India. I hope that happens. That's a clear ask for our industry. Second, what would be great is the government to enable the industry further by creating India as a common market. Third, creating a long-term mechanism for interstate movement of goods and services. Today, India not being a common market is an impediment for setting up global size facilities. I think this is going to happen because we are very pleased to hear the Prime Minister talk of Make in India, and I think this is at the forefront of Make in India. Because what happens here is this Make in India is something we buy into. You know, we've IPO'd in the American markets, brought the money to India, applied it into building a global facility which is very large scale, going ahead and not only making in India for India, but making in India for the world. So every pack of Amira basmati, Amira rice from India carries produce of India. That is branding to the micro across the world. And that understanding of brand India carried by the Amira brand is something which is enabled by the environment today, and we look forward to a greater enablement of that through a rationalization of input costs, taxes, and creating India as a common market.
Already an industry leader in the production of Indian basmati rice, we ask Karan Chanana what the future holds for Amira as it completes 100 years.
Exporting rice is not a race, it's an opportunity. Often, people look at volume export as the benchmark. I think that is simply incorrect. India is a high value rice provider to across the world. I see a future where Indian owned brands aim to get a larger space of global retail shelves. I think the globe is our market. So we are looking at going into countries we are not and adding distribution in countries where we are. So I'll give you an example. We went into the UK 2 years ago. We are now in 4 out of 5 supermarkets there. So the Amira brand sits at Waitrose, Morrison's, Tesco, and Asda. We've gone into Denmark, going into other countries in Europe, adding in the Middle East, more in Africa, deepening our distribution in North America. We have a small presence in Canada. In America, we've barely scratched the surface. We're going to do a lot more there. And the whole of Southern Latin America is untouched so far. We've always talked about being a billion-dollar company in the next 3 to 5 years, and I feel we are on our way to doing that. Challenges are an everyday scenario as we do business. And with our 100-year experience, we aim to learn from that and build on our future.
Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.
Presented by Amira. Make something beautiful.
The competition gets bigger and better. Which car will bag the 2015